Hi, this is Jace Gordon-Octooli here for book review. Today's book we're reviewing today, The Deep by Peter Benchley. This is from Bantam Books, and this was first published by Doubleday in May 1976. This paperback edition is April 1977. This was not a really good book. As I said in my last book review, I had no high hopes or expectations for this book, and pretty much I was right. This did not deliver anything spectacular or good. It was just a laid-back, tamed thriller, and nothing really else. I will say that the writing is definitely a lot better than Peter Benchley's first book, Jaws, which was absolutely a terrible book. The writing structure is good. The detail is good. Like, I like this. The setting the book takes place out in Bermuda, but the whole plot is just boring. I didn't like any of the characters, and there's not really much any like suspense in it or a lot of action. And there's a lot of moments where I felt Peter Benchley just kind of kicked back, where he could have, you know, got the suspense going and had the build up going with with some better action and stuff, but he just fails to deliver anything exciting. And most of the time, I was just bored reading this book, and by the end of it, I was like, I was done with this book. I finished it last night. Like, I just want this to be done with because I'm really getting bored with it. And then just when it gets to this supposed big finale, it's nothing really spectacular. So this is just not at all a good book. Like I said, I wasn't expecting anything from this book. There is one Peter Benchley novel I'm willing to give another try. Again, Island, but that is it. I am never going to read Jaws again. That book is just awful. I could probably find a better killer shark book than that one. But yeah, after this, like I said, The Island's the only book I'm willing to give another try. But after that, I'm not really interested to read any other books by this author. I just really don't like his work at all. The way he writes and stuff. Like, he's got good ideas, but they're not well executed. And I'll explain more about this book along with the other prods I had with it. Alright, on to the book review. Plot: Sanders and his girlfriend Gail are treasure hunters as they're searching for the wreckage of Goliath, a ship that sunk off the coast of Bermuda back in 1943. Sanders used to work for National Geographic but quit as he found his writing boring and wanted to explore the world. The couple has found pieces of glass along with an amulet as they believe they are getting close to the wreckage. After having no luck, they return to shore as Sanders plans to find someone who can help them search for the Goliath along with the glass they found. The couple learns of Romer Treese, a resident of Bermuda and diver of shipwrecks. After bribing a owner of a cafe, they are able to track down Treese living in a lighthouse. At first, he thinks they're tourists until Sanders shows him the pieces of glass they found along with the amulet. Tress explains the Goliath was a cargo ship during the war as it was smuggling drugs along with Spanish gold. Tress is interested in finding this wrecked ship and agrees to go diving with Sanders and Gale. Next day, Sanders and Gale are riding their motorbikes to go see Tress when suddenly a station wagon along with another car blocks their path as men come out with knives threatening them to get in the car. Against their will, they are taken to a station wagon and are taken to a criminal kingpin, Henry Klausch. He wants the amulet, but neither of them have it. Klausch doesn't believe them as has them stripped naked to show they aren't carrying it. After explaining who has it, Close gives the couple a deal. He wants Sanders and Gale to return to the wreckage of the Goliath, find as many amulets as they can, and smuggle them to New York, and they'll be rewarded. If they refuse, he'll have them killed. After being let go, Gale wants to call the police, but Sanders convinces her not to, as before they were let in, a officer waved at the driver as he believes that Klaus has ties with the police. When they go to visit Tress and explain what happened, he informs them that Klaus does in fact have connections with the police and government, and it is also rumored that he's a voodoo priest as well. Knowing they'll need help, Tress knows a sole survivor of the Goliath, Adam Coffin, that can help them for recovering the lost treasure of the sunken ship. Sanders and Tress go to the wreckage of Goliath and believe the ship is resting on top of another wreck of a Spanish ship carrying gold as they might have hit a jackpot. However, Klaus isn't going to allow them to easily get it as he sends a warning to Trash by placing a feather on his dog. Sanders then goes home to find Gail has been assaulted by Klaus's men as they stripped her naked, painted blood on her belly, and left a creepy voodoo doll. Sanders considers packing up and leaving to New York, but Gail fears they'll be followed back home, and if they really is treasure, then Gail doesn't want to miss it. Sanders changes his mind, and after telling Tresh what happened, all three of them agreed to continue the search for the lost treasure and tried to keep quiet about it so the authorities don't know about this, along with facing against Klaus and his gang, who will claim the fortune of Spanish gold or will remain at the bottom of the sea. The Deep was a tame thriller, while the writing structure was good along with detail on places and characters, but felt the plot wasn't that good. For the most part, the novel was slow as there was hardly any action or suspense to it. The main villain, Klaus, hardly tries to do anything to the main characters as he would show up and disappear, only appearing at the end when he really tries to capture the gold for himself. I didn't find the two main characters, Sanders and Gale, that interesting. The rest of the cast we come to know are alright or not that interesting. While I like the setting of the story in Bermuda, I just wish there was more action in this story along with a better plot, as I felt it got boring at times, and what little moments of something happening really didn't interest me. And there was nothing else I liked about this novel. Peter Benchley just kicks back and writes a tame thriller and hardly puts any effort to make it more interesting and better. And I also hated during the sex scenes how he uses the word lovemaking. It's so cringy to read those parts. Overall, I don't recommend The Deep. Nothing worth reading here. I'm sure you can find better thriller or action novels set in the tropics than this one. And that's the review today. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, this one's just a short and simple one. There's not really much else to talk about The Deep. Like, as I said, it's got an interesting setting. It's always interesting to read a story about, finding like lost treasure from a wrecked ship or somewhere out in the tropics. I like that, but this book was just boring. I don't like the main characters. They're just kind of like, generic and just not really offer anything interesting. Um, the villain is kind of a pushover. He hardly does anything to make the situation, more intense and stuff. Like, there was a part in the book where where the couple meets the villain Klaus for the first time, and there's a part where one of his henchmen goes over to Gale, and I'm thinking, okay, I think I know what's going to happen next. He's going to hold Sanders' girlfriend hostage. Basically, it's going to force him to get this treasure to get his girlfriend back, and it's up to him and Trash to find the treasure, then figure a way out how to outsmart Klaus to get the girlfriend back, while keeping the treasure for themselves. But no, that doesn't happen. The guy just basically intimidates her. It's like, oh, and Klaus is like, okay, you two can go now. I'll see you two later. And I thought, okay, and later on, Klaus appears and it tries to steal something from Tresh's house, and basically he just scares him off and he just disappears, and that's it. He doesn't try anything. And the one part I felt in the book was another part. I thought, oh, is Klaus gonna step things up now when Sanders comes home and finds that his girlfriend has been assaulted by Klaus's men. Again, he doesn't do anything. I'm like, are you even trying to intimidate these characters? Are you even trying? You're just being more of a nuisance than anything. And I was thinking, when Tresh mentioned that Klaus is rumored to be like a voodoo priest, I thought, ooh, we're gonna get some supernatural horror in this, some voodoo horror. No, we don't get any of that. It's just like something that the author teases the reader, but it doesn't bring it up after. It doesn't bring it up again after they find the creepy doll. That's it. I'm like, really? You're not gonna go any further with this? And the diving scenes were okay, but again, it's just nothing's really happening, and it's just I was really getting bored with this book. And there's several times where the characters want to pack up and go, and then later on they change their minds, decide to stay. And this is one thing a person commented on the Men's Adventure group, which I agreed with, was the fact that the main character puts his girlfriend's life in danger so many times. And dude, you want to be careful here. You don't want to lose your girlfriend. And it's like, oh my goodness, you're being way too reckless with this. And there was not really anything else I liked with the book. And the ending, I kind of was left scratching my head, what the hell just happened? I couldn't figure out how this book ends, because I was reading it and Tresh somehow has like C4, and basically he's on the ship with Klaus, and then the ship blows up, and I'm like, so they they don't get the treasure. The ship just was all that treasure just gets destroyed. It was just a shitty ending, and yeah, this book was just a real bore. But I know I didn't have my expectations high because it's a Peter Benchley book, so I figured this wasn't going to be anything good. I just, I got this book. It's been sitting on my shelf. I have to get rid of it to make room on my shelf for other books. So I just need to get to this book read and get it done. Yeah, that's about it. There's one author work I would love to check out, who I know who's a big fan of like sea diving and finding like wrecked treasures, Clyde Cluster and his Drake Pit series. So I'll definitely have to check that out and see if I can find some other books that are set in the tropics about finding shipwrecks and stuff, like something better than this one. All right, that's it for the book review. That's it for the book review today. Hope you enjoy it. And I am currently reading. This is the next book I'll be reviewing, which I've already started. Dark Water by Kojo Suzuki. This is the author of The Ring. I just got started in this, so I'll be reading more right after this video. So this is a collection of short stories, so I'll be reading much as I can this week to get it done. I have a review up soon. Then I'll move on to my next book. Alright, that's it for the review today. Hope you enjoyed it, and please don't forget to subscribe to Octoro Library, the YouTube channel, and this group of the same name, a place to watch a review of fiction. Until then, I'll catch you later.